We are looking at your Dynasty football trades
As
today. And
always,
let me
baby.
tell you, we've got some good players to talk about. Cooper Kupp,
Mm-hmm.
Damian Pierce,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Moneybag Mixon, Elijah
Sheesh.
Moore, Mac Jones, Deshaun Watson, Trey Lance, Barkley, as in Saquon, Aaron Jones, DK Metcalf, Terry, and then a very interesting trade that happened in our league that I don't know how to describe other than we're going to have to talk about it.
Right.
At the very end, it's just a hilarious scenario. Okay, let's look at the first trade. Big shout out to Freak. All right, this was submitted by Freak over there. It's a 12-team, one quarterback, half PPR Dynasty league.
Mm-hmm.
Team A gets Cooper Kupp, Damian Pierce. Team B gets Elijah Moore and Joe Moneybag Mixon. Where do you feel? Where do you lean on this trade, Badake?
Man, this was definitely a tough one. I do believe it is very, very close. It is Dynasty the way I'm seeing it. So I am going to go mix in Elijah Moore's side just with a little bit of an edge, just a little bit. Like if I had to put this on like a 50-50, it's like 51 to 49. You get what I'm saying? Like it's right there, really close. I'm going with the youth here. Elijah Moore, 22 years old. Joe Mixon, 26. Cooper Kupp, 29. Damian Pierce, obviously a rookie. But I think the thought process that I have for both of Joe Mixon and Elijah Moore, I really truly believe Elijah Moore is going to be a fantastic talent in the NFL and in fantasy, and continue to be fantasy relevant. Hopefully, have a massive jump this year. And Joe Mixon on one of the best offenses in the NFL with Joe Burrow over there. But Cooper Kupp, we already know what he's done. The triple crown MVP. We understand. I understand. But Damian Pierce is a real question mark here. He probably will be good maybe this year for fantasy football, but is he the true long-term answer? I'm not sure that that's the case. So maybe Team A was trading for Cooper Kupp to win the ship. Maybe he needed that X factor on his team, and he still gets the youth there. So give me Team B just by a slight margin.
Yeah, I'm actually more heavily on the Team B side. And I think so I'm with you, but I'm just like more heavily swayed that way.
For sure.
And there's a couple of reasons why. Like, firstly, at the end of the day, I still feel, I started saying this around January when we started the channel. I still feel this way. Cooper Kupp is he's too overvalued in Dynasty right now. He truly is, in my opinion, still too overvalued. If you look at the community, they rank him as wide receiver 4. And, you're probably out there saying, well, all these records last year, and he with Matthew Stafford, and he was a wide receiver 1. I understand that, but there is a peak for certain players, okay? And right now, he's 29 years old. In 9 months, he will be 30 years old. He's going to be fantastic this year, but he's not going to be the same exact player that he was last year. You have to anticipate some sort of regression coming to Cooper Kupp. He's still going to be top 5. I just don't think he's going to be the wide receiver 1. And I think people are trading for him with that expectation. The Rams wide receiver that I want to trade for right now in Dynasty is not Cooper Kupp. It's Allen Robinson, okay? He's the wide receiver I actually want to trade for on this team. He's a year younger. He is way cheaper, and he will be an absolute stud in LA. I think he's going to revive his career, and we could be talking about Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, like very... I think this time next year, they're going to be much closer in Dynasty ranks than people realize. So give me Allen Robinson. I think trading for Cooper Kupp is really strapping people's teams right now.
Right.
And I don't want to do it. And then you pretty much said exactly what I think about Damian Pierce. Hated him as a prospect. Like just nothing stood out to me. So like I understand how volume's going to carry him this year, but it's not someone I want to bet on long term. And redraft he's going to be fine, but next year's free agency market is quite good, and then the draft is going to be good as well. So you bring in one guy and instantly his value's in question. You don't bring in like a Damian Pierce next year or like whoever's in free agency and just think, oh yeah, definitely Damian Harris in free agency next year.
Right.
And assume that Pierce is the guy. So anyway, I gave Team A a B, Team B an A-. I really liked the Team B side. And again, it's not hating Cooper Kupp. I just think he's overvalued.
Right. For me, I gave Team A a B- and Team B a B+. Once again, just just a little bit of edge for Team B for me.
All right, trade number 2 from MMDD. He said, would you do this trade? I'm completely rebuilding, but have a bunch of picks. Team A gets Mac Jones and 2 23 seconds. Team B gets Deshaun Watson, where do you stand here? I'm very firm on my answer, but I'm curious
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you are.
no, it's definitely very interesting with the whole Deshaun Watson thought process. Mac Jones, I think if you are rebuilding, if you are trying to do a massive rebuild, let's remember Deshaun Watson is only 26 years old. So give me the Deshaun Watson side. There's no point of holding on to Mac Jones. There's no point of, well, I guess there. I do like the 23 seconds, but where are those 23 seconds at in value, and how you know, how are you actually going to know and confirm that you're going to hit in these 23 seconds where we know
Right.
what Deshaun Watson has done? We put everything aside. I understand in the personal legal side what's happening, but Deshaun Watson, the football player, Deshaun Watson with the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson, who led a team to multiple playoff runs and who has been a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football for a very long time. I mean, give me Deshaun Watson every single day.
Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely Team B. I keep saying it. Deshaun Watson is cheaper now than he probably ever will be, until he ages. Again, you talked about it. The youth. Hey, as a starter, Deshaun Watson has never not been a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football. Never. As a starter. That's never, ever happened. And in the last 3 years as a starter, over 100 total touchdowns. 100 total touchdowns. Okay, so we're talking about a quarterback who is somehow slipping in the late second, early third of startups, who will solidify himself as a top 8 pick in Dynasty Superflex startups this time next year. So give me him. It's not that I don't like Mac Jones. It's just that this is the cheapest you'll ever see Deshaun Watson right now, outside of beforehand when I was telling you to trade for him, when people were valuing him as the quarterback 18 in Dynasty. So,
Right.
Team A, I gave a C plus. Team B, an A plus. I'm definitely huge on the Team B side. But this is the issue with the trade calculator. You put this in a trade calculator, it's not gonna like it for the Deshaun Watson side. That's
no,
why you
for
have to be
sure,
careful.
and that's why you got to be careful with the trade calculators. You really had to know your, I guess, have your standards and your beliefs in each and every one of these players, because trade calculators is like, well, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
you know.
All right.
But for me, just to give you my grades really quick, Team A, I actually do like Mac Jones still, so I gave him a B, and Team B, I gave him an A.
Yeah. I like Mac Jones as well. I don't want it to sound like I'm disrespecting him or anything. He's still a good buy.
No,
He's just
for
not
sure.
Deshaun Watson, is he?
For sure.
Trade number 3 we got from Van LeJeff. Might not say that right, but 12-team Superflex PPR. Trey Lance, Miles Sanders, or Jameis Winston, Saquon Barkley in the early 2023 first. So, can I go to you first with dogs here? Where the dogs at?
Where the dogs at? You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. All right. 12-team Superflex PPR, like we said. Look, this is definitely close. I would actually say it's even value for both sides. Truly, I would say that this is even value for both sides. But give me Trey Lance. Give me the Team A side. This is my guy this year. I see the first is predicted to be early. We don't know if that's going to be early, but assuming it is, still give me Trey Lance. Trey is the kind of player in next year's class at the 101. This is the type of player that you would dream about drafting in a Superflex league. Elite rushing upside in an elite offense attached to one of the best play callers in the NFL. He will solidify himself amongst those top 6 dynasty quarterbacks this time next year, if not higher. Kyle did it in 2012. Who was the quarterback?
Right.
He was coaching. It was RG3. Okay. RG3 finishes a top 5 quarterback in his rookie season, which in a much worse situation with less weapons. So, again, I think this is, to clarify, you're paying for Trey Lance at a premium. You're not getting him at a discount here, but I'm willing to pay this price to get Trey Lance right now.
Okay. No, look, I understand, and I'm a person that I do believe in Trey Lance. I'm a little bit more modest in my approach, and as I do believe in him, a lot of people have him as a top 10, as you've heard before. I have him more in the the 12s to 15 area. For this year coming in, I do believe in Trey Lance. I think what's really making me make a tough decision is specifically that 23 early first. And I understand that we really love this class. I understand that Trey Lance is a quarterback, and you're not necessarily sure who's going to hit and who's going to be there for that 23 first and where that 23 first actually is. But I think that's what's making it really difficult for me. Honestly, it's a toss-up. I like Jameis Winston. I like Saquon Barkley. And I love the 23 first. I think Miles Sanders, Saquon Barkley is significantly better in my eyes than Miles Sanders. And I do believe an early 23 first is just enough for Trey Lance. And you kind of get Jameis Winston as a bonus. This is how I'm seeing this trade. Once again, not saying I don't believe in Trey Lance, not saying I wouldn't take Trey Lance. I just truly believe it's a toss-up right down the middle. I truly like both sides. Once again, that 23 first specifically, early 23 first. If I can guarantee a top 5 pick and know I can get a CJ, know I can get a Bryce Young, know I can get a Bijan, a Jackson Smith and Jigba. Once again, are these guys going to hit? What are the chances of them going to hit? And I don't know. But that's the risk I'm willing to take. That's why I do believe it's a toss-up for me. I like both sides. It's truly an even trade.
So who are you choosing?
Even trade. Toss-up.
Gotta choose one, Team A or Team B.
That's
what we're here for.
If I had to choose one, dang, man, this is why this is so tough. Give me Team B.
All right, give me Team B. All right, I agree. It's very close. I am Team A, obviously, but I gave both B+ grade.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. For me, I gave Team A B and Team B a B+. So I guess I technically did have
what
Team
are we
B on
talking
the
about?
side. But I'm just saying
right.
it's a toss up, but it's the same. Like I hear what you're saying, and maybe
right.
I didn't put it down on my notes as proper the way I really explaining it. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
All right, the fourth trade we're looking at today is from CR18. It's a 12-team half PPR league. Aaron Jones and Terry McLaurin, or
Scary.
DK Metcalf, Chase Edmonds in a 23 late second. And, I'll go first here quickly just because I typically, when I see trades that I'm very much on the outsider's perspective, I'm intrigued. We have, the ability for people to give feedback on trades in our Discord. And 70% of people who responded to this chose a side that I would not choose. So it's interesting to me, but I am going Team B here. I am not taking the Team A side. Again, 70% of the people in our Discord said Team A. So, this is very interesting to me. DK, I think the disrespect has potentially gone a little bit too far. DK is an elite Dynasty wide receiver. All right? Still just 24 years old. 24 years old. And he has finished as a top 7 wide receiver. Quarterback situation is not good. Okay? But this team is going to be very bad this year. Either through the draft or through free agency. There are so many quarterbacks right now who need homes. Think about Jimmy G. Think about all the quarterbacks who are coming in through the draft and what that will do for current starters in the NFL. There are plenty of opportunities for this team to improve. And you cannot tell me with a straight face that Pete Carroll plans on doing a 10-year rebuild as the oldest head coach in the NFL, okay? So give me the Team B side. And the last thing I'll say is A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones has been a prime sell candidate for me for this entire offseason. It was prime as soon as Aaron Rodgers came back. You saw the value switch, and that's when you should have tried to start selling Aaron Jones, just like this person did. It's not only because of his age, but A.J. Dillon's not going away. As long as you have Aaron Jones, you will have A.J. Dillon. He is not going anywhere, okay? And we have no idea how long Aaron Rodgers has left. We keep saying this. It's a year-by-year deal. So as soon as Aaron Rodgers is gone, Aaron Jones' value will plummet. You don't believe me? Anyone out there had Aaron Jones like me, and we didn't know if Aaron Rodgers was going to come back to this team or not? Tell me the type of value you were getting for him. I wasn't even getting second-round picks for Aaron Jones, okay? Right. So I'll take my chances on that 2023 second being higher than anticipated right now. I'll take my shot on what is a proven elite wide receiver who, bad quarterback play, this is a prime example of buying low on elite talent. I love Terry, but he's not DK Metcalf, so give me Team B here.
Yeah, no, everything you said, I like and I truly believe. I have Team B here as well. And honestly, it was easier for me to choose Team B side purely because I'm not a fan of Terry. Every single year, Terry could be this, Terry could be that every single year. Terry has a better quarterback now. Now Terry has Carson Wentz. Now Terry, like, it's every single year. And I've always been off Terry McLaurin. I've tried, and I tried to be a Terry McLaurin believer. I drafted him in redraft and Dynasty. I don't have any stock of him. I do believe the disrespect maybe is going too far in something like this. I do believe DK Metcalf this year is not going to be good in a redraft perspective, but Dynasty, once again, 24 years old. Why not take the elite talent? So for me, 100%, this is so easy.
Okay.
Team B.
Cool.
And yeah, it was definitely easy. Just easy. For me, like, I get the Aaron Jones standpoint for sure. Like, I get it. Dynasty is a little bit older. He has AJ Dillon, Aaron Rodgers. Once he's gone, goodbye to everyone there. Essentially in value, in Dynasty value. But for me, just not a believer in Terry and what he is going to be doing this year and to the years to come. I know he signed a 3-year contract. Unless he gets an elite quarterback, sheesh. Maybe that's different. But I just don't see the top 10 potential anywhere.
Look,
anywhere, anytime soon. I
really love Terry, and the reason I didn't talk about him is because, like, you know, he just didn't sway it either way. Yes, right. I like Washington, but I typically try and disassociate fantasy from my heart. That's why I don't typically have a lot of Washington players. It's just because I would rather just watch their games and be annoyed at them than watch their games, be annoyed at them, and also be disappointed in my fantasy team. So I get where you're coming from, but I do like Terry. So all right, Team A, I gave a C. Team B, I gave a B+. So I was pretty heavy on the DK side, which again is why I found it so interesting that, you know, 70+% of people in our Discord were the opposite side of me and us.
Yeah, 100%. For me, Team A, C+. For me, B, a B+. I really like Team B side.
All right, the last trade we're going to talk about today. Now, this is an absolute banger of a trade. If you want to say the word blockbuster, you know, blockbuster dynasty trade, this will show up on Urban Dictionary as a photo for the definition. This is a trade between Badake and myself. Okay,
it's not really a trade.
Team A gets Keontae Ingram. Team B gets $15 of fab. Now, let's explain what went behind this, because obviously this is for fun. For sure.
So I'll explain here.
You go ahead and explain. Yeah.
So the thought process was, if I'm pretty sure it was a night I just came back from my brother's-in-law engagement party. We came back home. I was looking at the waiver wires. I was like, dang, Joe Flacco's still on the waiver wires, and I need a quarterback for one of my teams because I have Zach Wilson. So essentially what I did was picked up Joe Flacco. I had Tylan Wallace as well, just as because it was a flyer, you know, like in a dynasty team. So I picked up Joe Flacco. I put in the waiver wires for Joe Flacco and to try and drop Tylan Wallace. But my mistake, it was actually Wan'Dale Robinson. Didn't notice until 15 hours later as we were looking, if I'm not mistaken, for trades for a video in our community. And then I was like, holy shit, I dropped Wan'Dale Robinson. And if you know me, if you follow this channel, I'm a believer in Wan'Dale Robinson. So I sent a message in chat. I was like, please, guys, no one pick him up, but you can't guarantee that. So what did I do? I had to trade for 15 fab because I already had my honestly, if I didn't have my 100 fab, Wan'Dale would have been gone. Okay, let me tell you that right there. Yeah. Luckily, I had 100 fab in this league. So I had to get an extra 15 fab so then I can beat everyone now guaranteed, because there was I think like 6 people that still had 100 fab. So I was like, it was roulette for Wan'Dale at that time.
Sure. And you had just made a pickup. So technically, if everyone had $100 fab, your priority would be last. So I saw an opportunity to take advantage of someone, and I did it.
And that's okay. And I'm okay with not having. I'd rather have,
to be honest though, like
for Wan'Dale Robinson every single day, and Joe Flacco for 1 week, and maybe I didn't need to, because it's dynasty, and maybe I don't need to win. And I'm kind of like a hybrid team. I don't need to win now, but I'm also futuristic in that league. But at the same time, I would rather have Wan'Dale Robinson every single day over Keontae Ingram. The wide receiver lifespan is so much better. But rookie mistake. And it happens, and don't come back from a party and try to pick up someone off the waiver wires.
Yeah. That's a hot tip. This was funny, like, to kind of highlight. And do I think Keontae Ingram's a stud? No, but I just, like, why not? I needed someone else on my taxi, so saw an advantage and
took advantage.
Did what I had to do. So, you know what? Did you still have Joe Flacco on your team, right? So I mean, let's hope Joe Flacco.
No, I mean Joe Flacco for the week.
Yeah,
for week 1 apparently, or week 2, however long Zach Wilson's going to be out for. So
anyway, guys, why don't you let us know in the comments below where you lean on these trades? Say trade 1, I'm team A or team B, and this is why. Let us know in the comments down below. And if you want your trades to be considered, join our Discord with the link in the description.
Let's go, baby.
Anytime you put a trade in the Dynasty Trades text channel on Discord, we will consider it for
100%.
This video series. So enjoy the rest of your night or day, wherever you are.
Whatever time it is.
Have a good one.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLand fam.